So in this video, we're going to take a look at how to write a great survey or questionnaire. So here are some tips we're going to just talk through now, and then we'll have a look at some examples and perhaps critique them. So let's run through these, and this can be like a checklist for you every time you write a questionnaire. So the questions should be worded to provide the information needed by the researcher. So don't have questions that are not relevant or not useful. Care must be taken not to invade people's privacy, so questions that do not relate to the purpose of the questionnaire must be excluded. Again, if there are privacy concerns, people are not going to want to answer your questionnaire truthfully. The questions should be capable of being answered reasonably quickly. The questions should be easy to understand and should not be ambiguous. Ambiguous means unclear. The question should not contain bias or leading questions, so you shouldn't be giving the people any ideas as to how they should answer the question. Questions may have possible responses presented in a multiple choice format or a yes-no format. And if we have things set up like this, we can then analyze them. If we have open answered questions all the time, then it's very hard to find answers when we have lots of people answering those questions. Where responses are provided, they should cover every possible answer. Well, that makes sense. Responses provided should not overlap. The responses provided should not force people to answer in a way that they do not wish to answer. The questionnaires should be designed so that the results are easy to analyze, and you should try out a questionnaire in a pilot study first before doing it to lots of people. That way we can sort out any mistakes. So let's now take a look, at a couple of questions and see if we can just critique these and perhaps think about how the questionnaire could be improved. So Ayesha wants to identify the favorite colors of children of different ages. Comment on the following questions that she has decided to ask. So which age range are you in? And we've got some tick boxes. 0 to 5, 6 to 12, and 12 plus. And then we've got tick the color that you like most from the list: blue, green, yellow, orange, black. Okay, so what's wrong with this survey? Well, there are a few things I've already picked up on. Let's just see what the solution says. So first of all, it is easy to fill out, okay, and we're easy to collect the data and analyze the data. So that's good. We've got choices. It's straightforward and it's easy to understand. However, if the purpose of the questionnaire is to think about the favorite colors of children at different ages, well, I'm not sure that these choices are a good idea. Perhaps we've got young children at 0 to 5, and then we've got primary school children here, yeah. But 12 plus, well, that could be adults or children. Perhaps it would be better to have a 12 to 18 category or a 12 to 15 category, and then identify and establish who's answering the question that's an adult and who is a child. Also, the age categories overlap. This is a bit confusing, isn't it, right? If you're 12 years old, are you going to be ticking the middle box or are you going to be ticking the last box? So be careful. Make sure they don't overlap. Okay, now we've got 5 colors to choose from, but of course, that is not the limit of colors. What if your favorite color was brown, for example, or red? Well, that isn't an option for you. So you're being forced to choose a different color to your actual favorite. So perhaps this survey isn't fit for purpose. Perhaps we need some more boxes. Perhaps, again, here's a great idea. We could have other color and then please specify, and that way we could take that data and still analyze it just like the other pieces of data. So hopefully this gives you some good ideas about how you can improve questions and how you can go about writing your own question. Now then, let's just take a look at another example here. Right, so these questions are all about cars and pollution. Do cars cause pollution in the city centre? Well, here I've got a bit of a problem with this because it might be that the people answering the question are not informed and don't know. Are they a good person to ask? Perhaps this is something that an expert could answer rather than a survey. Do cars cause traffic holdups in the city centre? Are some car drivers a danger to pedestrians in the city centre? Do you think that cars should be banned? It sounds to me like all of these questions are gearing up the people to give yeses and therefore support something that perhaps or an argument, I should say, that perhaps isn't straightforward, and these come across a little biased. They're designed to really focus on disadvantages of cars, and I can't see any questions where we're asking about the positive impact of cars. So this is a good example of some biased questions. Okay, so hopefully these two examples give you some ideas of the sort of pitfalls you can fall into, and let's just go back and make sure that you have a think about this checklist before you start writing your own questionnaires and surveys.